Welcome back for week 3 of a series entitled Life Is. This is Father Mark, and the first week we discovered that life is messy. Last week we kind of shared that our families are messy, and here's the good news about this week. You know what? Our relationship with God is messy. And if we pay attention to life, and if we pay attention to the things that we've learned about our lives in these last couple weeks, it's one thing for us to acknowledge that life is messy, or our families are messy, marriage is messy, your kids are messy, but what do you do with that? And how do you take that to God? And that's when we're going to discover that a lot of times our relationship with God is messy. And this past Sunday, June 24th, we celebrated the birth of John the Baptist, and we heard this awesome story about his mom and dad, Zechariah and Elizabeth, and this really awesome story about how Zechariah was chosen, one of the most beautiful opportunities of his entire life. It's the day that he's in the temple. He's in the center of the temple, offering incense. It's this powerful day. His whole life is kind of being built up to this day. He offers the incense, and God speaks to him, and then it gets messy. He doubts, not that God can work a miracle in his life, but that God will work a miracle in his life. Zechariah was over the age of 70. His wife was in her 70s, and God promised him a child. And I think I would be in the same place if God spoke to me, promising me the same thing. If I were a married person and I were that age, I'd probably doubt also. And he goes through this beautiful story leading up to the birth of John the Baptist, which really reveals that a lot of us often doubt, not that God can do something, but that God will do something. And I think when it comes to the messiness of our life, and certainly the messiness of our own families, I think a lot of us have been there, right? We've all asked God to do something, and I think you're watching this video because you really do believe that God can work miracles in your life, but do you ever believe that He will? And a lot of times that's compromised when we don't see God doing it on our timeline. We can begin to doubt, just like Zechariah did. And so the good news of this past Sunday, it was really good news, is that God is always with us, even when we doubt. And the question is not if we're going to doubt God, because I think we've all been there together. The question is, where do you go with your doubt? Are you relating that to God? Are you hanging in there, even when your relationship with God is messy? If you want to learn more about this homily and really even hear others from other priests in our diocese, go to our website, htdiocese.org, click on the homilies button. You can hear the rest of this homily as well as others from our diocese, all encouraging you to hang in there, especially when life is messy, when our families are messy, and hang in there when your relationship with God is messy. God bless you.